Hey now, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I just got done watching The Flash Season 2 finale. Woohoo! Man, oh man, this was a great episode. Flash always delivers. You can't really be surprised here. Let's jump into this because the episode started with Zoom killing Barry's father, Henry Allen, John Wesley Shipp. We saw it from the last episode, how it ended, where he grabbed him from the dinner they were having and phased his hand through his heart. And man, that was tough. That was heavy to see Barry relive the whole thing almost all over again. This time his father in the same room, essentially, where his mom died. It was like, fuck. Again? I know I said before that I was at a point where I wanted the writers to kill the father off just because I thought it would have made more sense instead of having him leave Barry for months on end and then come back randomly, which is what they did. But now that he did die, it was still an emotional, impactful moment, so we got that. And then when Barry was pissed off and chased Zoom through the streets and into the alley and up the building. Like, I'm not saying that the CGI for this show is 100% great, because obviously it's a CW TV show. CGI is going to be shoddy sometimes, but other times it fucking looks great. And this is one of the times where it looked great. Just seeing them go through and Barry following him up and beating the shit out of him out of rage and anger, and then seeing that there was two Zooms. And I guess they talked about how somehow you can go back in time and and create another version of yourself, almost like a clone. And that's how Zoom was able to accomplish half the things that he was doing. I'm not saying it wasn't confusing as fuck, but okay, fine. They tried to get me to understand it. I think by the end of the episode I understood it a little bit better. But still, that was pretty weird. We get the funeral scene of Barry's father. And Cisco had some funny moments. And I think usually he has funny moments, but here especially. Because even he sort of mentioned how confusing Zoom's plan was. Like, what the fuck was he doing? How is he able to create a clone of himself? You know, typical bad guy who doesn't just come out and say what he wants to do. He speaks in riddles, and you're supposed to figure out what the fuck the villain wants to do. Also, he had a couple jabs at Transformers, specifically the fourth one, which I can't blame him there. Yeah, that fourth one, pretty bad. So then Zoom challenges the Flash to a race. And I heard this and I said, what? Really? A race? Like, you just killed his father and now you want to race him? Even Barry was like, I'm not going to fucking race you, dude. But then Zoom threatened to kill his family, everybody that he loved, if he didn't do it. So naturally Barry was going to do it. The team decided against this, and they locked Barry up because they knew that he was on too high emotions. He was filled with rage and revenge, and he probably would have lost to Zoom or gotten himself killed. So they locked him up, which was very interesting, especially because they all agreed to do it. Even Cisco was like, I was a little bit more like 60-40, but yeah, we agreed to do it. And then that's when the team figured out that Zoom didn't just want to race Barry just to do it. He wanted them racing to create enough energy in that round tower thing to then create some blast that would destroy every other Earth that exists, so that he can then take over this one Earth without having to worry about anything else. Okay. But also there was a little bit of Zoom's ego, who did want to race Barry and see who was faster, prove that he was faster. So a 2-for-1 deal for Zoom. Again, I was along with it. I loved the moment where Caitlin decided to trick Zoom, not just because she was using his love for her or his emotions for her, and the fact that it looked like it was going to work, but the fact that they even more outsmarted him because it was a hologram of Caitlin, something that they had set up episodes ago with the Flash being able to do the hologram thing. So I like that. It made sense. It made them look smarter, even though Zoom ended up taking Joe back to Earth 2 and had him prisoner. So then obviously, it was weird because even Iris was like, oh, well, that sucks. I mean, like, we all agreed that we wouldn't open the portal again, so I guess my dad's gone. Like, even Wally was like, what the fuck? Am I the only one who's like, no, we can't do this here? Maybe that part was a little wonky. Like, you want to see Iris, like, care more about her father, and maybe she should have been hell-bent on trying to get him back a little bit more. But okay, you have to have Wally doing something. And then Wally broke Flash out of the glass chamber, and Flash said, I'm racing him, no matter what. So then we get the race, and I like the race, but not just the race itself. Again, the effects look great of them two racing each other, but the fact that Barry used Zoom's own technique to go back in time, create a time remnant, or whatever they called it, of himself, so there was two of him, and then the clone, like, killed himself to stop this machine from going off. A lot of shit going on, but once they explained it and made it make more sense, it made Barry even more of a hero. I mean, I guess it's hard to tell, like, which was which one was the real Barry. I guess it's the one that we stayed with, but who knows? That could have been the real Barry who went up there and killed himself. Either way, we did find out that that prisoner that Zoom had in that chamber was the real Jay Garrick, which I thought was an interesting reveal. The fact that Barry used the clone version of himself to draw out the time wreaths, or whatever they're called, those creatures that come in and they get pissed off if you time travel. And they came in and grabbed Zoom, and, like, were they turning Zoom into a creature? Into one of them? Because, like, his face started to turn and get, like... It was weird, but they took him away. Zoom is gone, seemingly defeated now. So we're done with him. Zoom was a fascinating villain. One of the best villains I've ever seen on TV. He was evil as I thought Reverse Flash was. Zoom was that much more. So I love that. But then finding out that the Jay Garrick prisoner was really John Wesley Shipp, the Henry Allen doppelganger, that was unexpected. That was really cool. Grant Gustin gave it with his performance. So many emotions he had to go through. And just in this episode alone, not only the whole season, and he delivered. He was perfect. His reaction to seeing technically his father, or like a guy with his father's face, it's like you can't imagine what that's doing to him. But trying to get him, I guess, to Earth 3, which is where he's from, Harrison Wells and his daughter Jessie decided to go back home to Earth 2, which, I mean, I get it. That's where they live. That's where they're from. It's where everybody that they know are from. But it kind of sucks. More so that we lost Harrison Wells. Again, I mean, I like the actor. I did. I loved him last season as the father figure / villain. But I like that they found a way to bring him back here, and then he was a good guy, but now he's gone. Who knows? I'm sure they'll find a way to at least bring him back once in a while if they can. But it seems like he's gone. And we get a moment where Barry talks to Iris outside the house, and you know, they're talking about what he's going through, how just mentally gone he is, broken he is. And she's like, oh, well, at least we're gonna, like, start dating, right? And he's like, yeah, about that. Like, yeah, I'm in love with you and all that good stuff, but I'm not ready for a relationship. And, like, as much as I was like, no! Like, how long have we been sort of trying to make this happen? Hell, we even dated and left Patty Spivot, as much as I liked her, to get to this point, and then he breaks it off with Iris. Now, at least it makes sense. He is too much in a fucked up place right now, and he was honest with her. And I loved her reaction of being like, okay, you know what? You waited years for me and all my bullshit, so I'm going to wait for you for you to figure out what you have to do. So I like that. I'm hoping maybe by the beginning of season 3, whatever time lapse will be from there, then they'll start dating and then they'll do it. Hopefully it's not too much CW drama with their relationship, like Felicity and Oliver. Holy fuck, don't do that. Just make them be a happy couple with like normal problems, please. But Flash does something, Barry Allen does something that I was not even guessing that he was going to do. He goes back in time, back to when he was a kid, and saves his mother. He stops Reverse Flash, and he saves his mom. And while that was happening, I was like, holy fuck. Really? We're doing this? Like, I didn't really know what he was going to do when he went into the time zone. Like, I mean, he could have saved his father, but no, he went all the way back to save his mom. And what does that do to this world now? I mean, it was such a huge thing in the last season finale for him to decide not to do this because of what it could mean. The fact that he might not be close with Iris and Joe and Caitlin. Will he even have become Flash? Will the accident have happened? Will he be the Flash? Like, we don't know. This is going to be Flashpoint Paradox. I mean, hopefully it won't be too much of a fucked up thing, but we don't know. And in some ways, I was happy. Like, yeah, Barry, you deserve this. You deserve, like, your mom. It makes sense. It was a feel-good thing, but the uncertainty of it, the fear of what's to come, like, if this destroys his relationship with Joe and Iris, like, that would suck. I would hate to see next season if that's what happens. But, hey, it's a decision he'll have to live with. Great, great finale. It's so many emotions clearly going through my head. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of the Season 2 finale of Flash? Tomorrow night is the Arrow finale. Yeah, I have a lot to talk about with Season 4's Arrow. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!